Hi, friends. Welcome to the Inspired Knitting Podcast. I'm your host, Bobby, and I am coming to you from Straight Shores, New Brunswick, Canada. Today is Friday, April 17th, 2026, and you are watching episode 144. Welcome. This is a podcast where I share with you my knitting adventures and crocheting, and sometimes there's spinning as well. Today I have knitting and I have crocheting. Not a lot, but it's what I've been up to this past week. So grab a beverage of your choice, grab something to craft on, and let's jump into it. First, business first, down below in the description, there's a more button that you can click a couple times, and it will give you direct links to any designers and makers that I talk about. And you can also find where you can find me on the internet. I am most active on Instagram as Inspired Knitting Podcast. So yeah, it's been a week. I'm happy that we are keeping up with like a weekly podcast. It feels good just to sit down every week and kind of recap and see where we're at, what we've done this week. I don't know, guys. I've had a hard time this week with my crafting. It's not that I've lost my mojo. I definitely haven't. But we've had a lot of damp, rainy weather here in the Maritimes this past week, and my poor hands are very sore. I know I've been doing a lot of crafting of late, but I don't know. I think it's just the dampness that has caused my hands to be so sore. They've been a little bit swollen, and it just makes, especially crocheting, a lot harder. And even to knit, it's been a little bit of a struggle. So I feel like I don't have a lot to show for, but I do. I have a couple finished objects to share with you. And I have some works in progress as well. So I'm just going to get started, guys. I have two pairs of finished socks this week, and this pair here I am so happy with. They've been on the go for 3 weeks, guys. It's kind of ridiculous. This is a pair of cranked socks. I believe this is number 16 for 2026, and it is Area 51 fibers in the Never Not Rainbowing colorway, and it is just amazing. I love this colorway so much. For the contrast, I used Comfy Cozy Knits. I don't know what the colorway name is, unfortunately. And then for the heels, I used Lichen and Lace in the Ultraviolet colorway. So for my crank socks, just in case you are new here, I crank my socks on a Bear Valley CSM machine, circular sock machine. I got it from soundandfiber.com. They are a company in Parry Sound, Ontario, and it roughly runs around $550, or I think it is $600 Canadian, which makes it an affordable machine to purchase if you're on a budget. And it is a steep learning curve, but there are some helpful videos that are out there that can help you get started. And I plan on doing a tutorial very soon, once I can figure out the setup correctly, on how I got started and some little tips and tricks that will help you along the way. But that is coming relatively soon. I don't want to put a direct date on it because yeah, I don't want to get your hopes up too soon, but I do plan on doing one. And so yeah, all that to say, for my cranked socks, it does come with a row counter on it. So what I do, sorry, my dog just distracted me. I heard something. I do 125 rows for the cranked tube. And then I take it off the machine, and then I do 125 rows for the next sock. So I don't do a whole solid tube and then cut out. I don't do it that way. Shelly of Polka Dot Creek has a wonderful video how you could crank the tube all in one, and then you figure out where your halfway point is, and you can divide up and do the socks that way. I just prefer to do 2 separate socks. It's a little bit easier for me. I just like it that way. But it comes down to personal preference, I suppose. But I do 125 rows per sock. And then for my cuffs, heels, and toes, I just do 2x2 ribbing for about 10 rows. I do 1 solid row of knitting first, and then 10 rows of 2x2 ribbing. And then I just do a standard toe. And then I do a true afterthought heel where you're cutting into the fabric and putting in an afterthought heel. So yeah, that's what I do. And they turned out wonderful. I love them. They're so good. Really, really love this. So that is, like I said, I believe pair 16 for 2026 for cranked socks. And then I should have checked this before I started podcasting, but I believe this is pair 8 or 9 for hand knit socks for 2026. And I finished these off yesterday, but I had to graph the toe this morning because I blanked on it. But these are done. I started these last year, guys. I believe it was last summer that I started these socks, and now I have finally finished them. This was one of my frog or finish projects, and I'm so glad that I finished them because they are amazing. So the yarn is from Rose Hill. It's kind of hard to see there. It was a club colorway. It is fingering weight with a 463 yard 100-gram skein, which is your main color, and then a mini skein, which is 20 grams. It's a 75-25 superwash merino, and it was in the August Lemosino porcelain colorway. And again, my new phone does not want to focus, and I don't know why. I'm sorry, guys, but that's the details. It was a club colorway from August of 2020, 23, 24. I can't remember now. But they're done. I absolutely love this contrast colorway. It is just so good. The blue is just so amazing. It's a little bit darker than what it's showing on the camera right now, but it's just so beautiful. So for these, I did 20 rows of 2x2 ribbing for the cuff, 64 stitches, 50 rows for the legs, slip stitch, heel flap, and gusset, and just a regular toe. And I really love how these ones turned out as well. These are really nice. So yeah, those are my sock whips. I do have a hoe, but I'm going to wait and show that one to you guys as I'm going into works in progress. Yeah, I'm just going to now continue with finished objects. So I have a few crochet things that I finished this week. Not very many, but I did finish some. One of the things that I finished, sorry, I have to reach to my desk to get them. I finished a Jolene kitty. This is by Oak and Marlowe. Surprise, surprise. This is baby Jolene. So Jolene kitty can be purchased in 2 different formats. You can purchase her to have the longer legs, or now you can purchase, and I believe this is a new thing, but you can purchase baby Jolene, and I like baby Jolene. I think she's just stinking cute. And yeah, if you have, I don't even know if I should be saying this, but if you have one of the other Oak and Marlowe patterns that have the long legs on them, you technically can just like put those longer legs onto baby Jolene or any of the Fable collection. Like, they're all somewhat the same and interchangeable. I don't know if I should be saying that because they are wonderful paid for patterns and I absolutely love them and adore them. But yeah, you could totally put like the longer legs on her if you wanted to. But there she is. She's stinking cute. What I really love about her is that you didn't have to make the ears separately and sew them on. It is all done in one piece, which I love. And then secondly, something that is new is this cute little dress. So I believe it was on Prim Bunny by Oak and Marlowe. There is a dress that you can make to put on the Prim Bunny, or to be quite honest, you can put it on any of the baby Fable animals or Fable animals. But this dress is new, and I think it is so cute. And it is also on Oak and Marlowe's blog for free. So if you get Jolene, baby Jolene, you can get the dress in the pattern. So it comes with it. But if you don't get baby Jolene and you have any of the other Fable babies or Fable collection, you can go on to Oak and Marlowe's blog and you can get the dress for free. And I believe you can get a lot of the accessories on Oak and Marlowe for free. But yeah, it is pretty cool. I really love it. So for this, I use Burnett blanket yarn. Cannot tell you what the colorway names are because I'm really terrible at that. But, oh my goodness, my dog. She's crazy, guys. She's crazy. Anyways, I'm using Burnett blanket yarn. And, yeah. It is so cute. So cute. So I made Jolene, baby Jolene, and then I also got a request last week at the market, just reaching here again. I got a request for mushrooms, and I've only ever done one mushroom before, and I didn't like it. It was a knitted mushroom, and the reason I didn't like it was because I couldn't get it to stand properly, and I just didn't like that. So I kind of like abandoned the whole mushroom idea. So I thought, well, maybe if I crochet it, it will be a lot better. So I went on to Etsy and I was looking around for crocheted mushrooms, and I ended up finding this really cute pattern, and I don't know if it's something that the customer would even be interested in if they did come back. But I am totally interested because I think it is adorable. So this is by Thread and Needle. I will make sure that I post the pattern below for you guys. But it's a little dude. It's a little mushroom guy. How cute. I thought that it was just so stinking cute. I couldn't do a plain mushroom. I had to do the one that had the eyeballs and the face. I just thought that looked amazing. So that's what I did. For this version of it, I used blanket yarn, Burnett blanket yarn. And then I decided, well, I wonder what it would look like in worsted weight yarn, because I have a lot more colors in worsted weight yarn. So I made this one today in worsted weight, and I think he's even more adorable. I kind of prefer the worsted weight version. And you can kind of see the size difference, obviously. But I kind of like the worsted weight version. I don't know, they're both adorable, but... And you don't have to sew anything, guys. It's a no-sew pattern, which you know me, absolutely love. The only thing that you have to do is you have to embroider on the little specks, which at first I was like, oh no, I don't like doing that. But it's actually not bad, guys. It's not bad. It is not bad at all. So I'm just using safety eyes. You could totally embroider eyes on, but I'm just using safety eyes, and I embroidered the mouth, which I'm not really good at, but I think they turned out well. So cute. So for this, I used a mix of Red Heart Super Saver for the blue, and I think it's called Periwinkle. And then I used just Burnett White that came from Zeller's many, many years ago. I got it in a D-stash. The fact that it has a Zeller's label on it is always funny to me. But, and it was like, I think it had $3.99 on the ball. Oh my God, like, wow. But anyways, here's my little mushroom dudes. That's what I'm calling them. So I'll make sure that I link the pattern down below for you guys so you can check it out. It is a paid for pattern on Etsy, and it is totally worth it. Again, I should have checked this before starting, but I believe that it might even be on sale right now, but it's not that much at all. Like, it's super, super cheap for a really cute crocheted pattern. So that is what I did there. That's all I crocheted this week. I am making a manta ray. It is crocheted with Burnett blanket yarn, but I haven't finished that one yet, so I just didn't bother bringing it to show. But I am working on one of those as well. But like I said, I just ran out of time, and my hands were sore, and yeah, it just didn't work out that I finished it, and that is okay. That is totally okay. We need to take a rest and take care of ourselves. And that is what I did. Okay. I have one more thing to show you. It is a hoe. I finished my first opal sock. This is in the, it is part of the Aquarelle collection. And I started these a while ago, and it's kind of been in my bag as market knitting. So while I'm sitting there at the market, I can just take out this vanilla sock and just work on it. So I think that's why it's been sitting around so long. I honestly haven't been working on it too much, but I wanted to put some work on it because I think they're actually really beautiful, and I want them done. I want more opal socks in my my sock stash. I think that they're a workhorse yarn, but they just feel that a little bit warmer, just a little bit. So for these, I casted on 64 stitches, 20 rounds of 2x2 ribbing, 50 rows for the leg, slip stitch, heel flap, and gusset, rounded toe, I think it's called. Oh, it's so good. So good. Absolutely love it. So for this one, just let me put my sock blocker back without dropping it. I'm just going to get the yarn tag out here. That way I can tell you what the colorway number is. I have yet to cast on the second sock. I have not done that yet. Okay, so it is Opal Aquarelle. And the color number is 11535. And I'm not going to bother showing it to you because I don't think it's even going to show up. So yeah, there's that one. So I'm glad I have the first sock done. So hopefully I get the second one casted on. I'd like to cast it on today before market tomorrow. That way, if I want to work on something, I have a vanilla sock to work on. So I would like to get that started. Okay. So next I have some works in progress to share with you. So I don't have a lot, but just gonna do some reorganizing here. And I do apologize for all the reaching, guys. I should have moved forward just a little bit. That way I could access my desk better, but I apologize. It is what it is today. Okay, so the first works in progress that I'm going to share with you is a new cast on. I kind of went on a cast on party this week. Not too crazy, but just a little bit. I got an order in from Knit Picks, and I could not resist casting this one on right away. It is the Lisa colorway. It is Knit Picks Felici. And I have seen this one knit up and I absolutely love it. I think it is just so pretty and I absolutely could not resist. I had a couple pairs of sock needles that were free and I was like, we are doing this. We are casting this on. So that's exactly what I did. I casted it on. I got the cuff done. So I got 20 rows of 2x2 ribbing. And I did the first row. That's it. First row is just going to be a vanilla sock. And yeah, doing it on magic loop. I use a 40-inch cord because that's what I prefer. I find that if I use a 32-inch cord that I tend to lose my stitches a little bit easier, and I don't like that. And I like my tension a lot better on a 40-inch. I'm using a 2mm because I am a loose knitter. Your gauge might be different and your preferences might be different, but that is what I use. I used to knit my socks all the time on DPNs. That's how I learned. But then I learned how to do magic loop. And I know for me, when I first started, and this is why I gave up magic loop, it's laddering. And I know a lot of people have issues with laddering when it comes to magic loop. And the way that I learned, a tip that I learned, is that you knit your first stitch and just knit it with a normal tension. And then your second stitch, when you knit it off the needle, just give it a snug pull, the yarn a snug pull, and then just knit normal throughout the rest of the stitches. And by snugging up that second stitch, it stops the laddering somehow. How? Not really sure, but it works. And so yeah, if you have tried magic loop and you're having trouble with ladders, maybe give that a go and see what happens, because I know I was getting ladders all the time and it would frustrate me beyond. But I really wanted to learn how to knit magic loop, and I'm glad that I tried it again because I managed to get it, and it is now my preferred way of knitting socks. So yeah, just a little tip. So I got those started. This is fingering weight. I don't have the tag with me, but Knit Picks Felici is a 75-25, 75 superwash merino wool, 25% nylon. So there is that one. Okay, so I have another new cast on, and I am going to blame Rachel from Rachel is Knitting. She is a Louisiana-based knitter, and I just love her podcast. She's amazing. She does trips to the Scottish Highlands and Ireland, and I know that she's going this month to the Scottish Highlands and Ireland next month, and then coming up in September she's going to Copenhagen. It's amazing, and I cannot wait to watch her recaps and all that jazz. I just think it's so exciting, and I really enjoy her podcast. I really like the stuff that she works on, and because of her, I casted on this new project. So one of the things that Rachel has been knitting a lot lately is the Jaunty shawl by Andrea Mowry. And if you have been with me for a while, you know that there are a few things that I really love. One is a good shawl, and two is Andrea Mowry. She is my go-to do or die designer. I love her. She is just amazing. Everything she comes out with, it's just amazing. She just came out with a new cardigan. No, I did not cast it on. I did not buy the pattern, but she is amazing. If you do not know who Andrea Mowry is, you do have to go over and check her out because she is pretty freaking awesome. All that to say, Rachel has been knitting a lot of jaunties, and currently right now, and I don't know how long it's running for, but Andrea Mowry is running a jaunty knit along, and you could join that, and there's some pretty awesome prizes involved. I am not so much knitting this for the knit along. I don't even think I'm going to enter the knit along. I just want to knit the jaunty because it looks so good. So the way the jaunty is designed, you can knit it with fingering weight, you can knit it with sport, DK, worsted, or even an Aran weight, I believe. She has all the yardages listed on her Ravelry page, roughly how much would be needed to get a certain size. Another thing that the jaunty, I believe, was designed after was using your hand spun yarn, and I really wish that I had enough hand spun, and I don't think I do, to knit a jaunty. I've always just did a single braid of yarn, and one of the things I love about Rachel's podcast is she's a spinner as well. She is mixing two braids of yarns, two braids of fiber together, and I've never thought about that, and I don't know why, but it looks amazing when she does it. And by mixing the two braids of fiber together, you're going to get more yardage. So it's things that I've been thinking about, and it's been really wanting me to bring out my spinning, my e-spinner, and spinning up some fiber, and just doing something with my hand spun. I do have hand spun that I have spun up, and I have been spinning for a shawl. And I've kind of been doing like pinks and purples and stuff like that. So maybe I should think about that and just stop thinking about spinning something new and rather look at what I already have spun up and see what I have and what kind of yardage it is, and maybe doing a jaunty with my hand spun. But for right now, I'm using a fingering weight yarn. So I was going through my stash and I picked out Indigo Dragonfly. And this is on her Mergoat sock, which is an 80% superwash merino, 10% cashmere, and 10% nylon, 400 yards. And it is, it's called Special Edition Toothpaste A-Go-Go. Funny name. Not that you can read that, but... And then up here, it is supposed to be 115 gram skein. I weighed it out, and it's actually 127 grams. So I'm glad I actually weighed it out. So the idea of the jaunty is that you start increasing, kind of like the Sophie scarf. You're increasing, so weigh your ball first, and once you get to about 45, it says about 45% of your yardage, you then start to decrease, or you do a center part and then decrease, something like that. I didn't really read too far ahead in the pattern, but I do know that you're supposed to get to 45% of your yardage. So I got 127 grams. Once I get to 45%, then I can start the next section. So I'm having so much fun with it. It is a paid for pattern, obviously, but it is half fisherman's rib, which I was a little bit intimidated with at first, but I have no reason to be intimidated by it. It is super amazing and squishy. It is a lot like brioche, but it's not brioche. That's the back side. It is just so nice and it's so squishy, and this yarn is just simply beautiful. If you can see all the different specks in there, it's a very beautiful purple with all those specks. I love it. It is amazing. And Rachel's favorite color is purple, which is kind of why I gravitated towards the purple, because purple is one of my favorite colors too. I think it is my favorite color. But yeah, when I saw this in my stash and saw that it had cashmere in it, I was like, oh yeah, that's gonna be a jaunty. So yeah, depending on the size of your skein is how big it's going to be. So I'm hoping that it's going to be of a fair size to a point, because I don't like my shawls being too small. But I'm enjoying this one. It is an easy repeat to follow. You have what I would call like a rest row in between as well, so it's really nice. Yeah, I've just been enjoying it. So in between working on some stuff, I've been working on this, and it's been a lot of fun. It's being housed in my peekaboo bag by Daisy Girl and Company. And yeah, I love it. I love everything about this project right now. It's bringing me a lot of joy. So that was a new cast on. And then I did part of my Knit Picks order. The main reason I made a Knit Picks order was because I needed to get some more Wool of the Andes tweed in the Wreath Heather colorway, which is a very beautiful green. I believe I showed you guys the color a couple episodes back. I believe I did. I was doing a crochet cardigan. A little update on the crochet cardigan. I have since frogged it. Just wasn't liking it, guys. It's no fault of the patterns at all. Believe me, it is not. And I would love to make it again in the future. I just think that I'm not meeting gauge on it, and that's making me nervous. I don't know if my yarn is slightly thinner. It is a worsted weight yarn that is called for, but I'm not meeting gauge. And if I go up a needle size, or a hook size, sorry, it's crochet. If I go up a hook size, then it's still not quite meeting gauge, and it's quite holy. And I know crochet is supposed to have gaps in it, but it's just a little more gappy than what I prefer. So I decided just to pull it out. I wasn't happy with it, and I'm going to knit a cardigan instead. So I've been going back and forth on this one too. I didn't bring it with me today because there is not much at all, and I might be subject to change my mind, but I doubt it. I decided that I was going to do one of two patterns. One is the Harvest Cardigan by Tin Can Knits. And then the second one is the Cat Bells Cardigan by Pip and Pin. And Pip and Pin, the Cat Bells cardigan is like a garter lace, and the Harvest is just a plain stockinette garter cardigan. So I think I'm leaning more towards the Harvest. I have knit one of those before many years ago, and I rather enjoyed the knit. So I think I'm going to do that one. I think that it would showcase the tweed yarn really well. I think they both would. But I think that I would like to do the Harvest. So I casted it on, and I'm using the recommended needle size. And again, I feel like my gauge is on so far. I haven't finished my gauge swatch yet, but my gauge is on so far, but I'm feeling like it's a little too, the fabric's a bit loose for my liking. And so I'm wondering if I go down in needle size and tighten it up a bit, maybe just go up a sweater size. I don't know yet. There's still some decisions to be made there, so I didn't bother bringing it today, but I did kind of cast on a new cardigan, but yeah, I did that. But I didn't bring it because there's not much to share and it might be subject to change, so. Okay, last thing to share with you guys. Even though I had a bit of a cast-on party, I am still working from my Froggeter finish, my old whips. So first was the socks from Rose Hill Yarns. I'm very happy to say that is now out of the queue. I have finished them. They are done, and I could not be more happy with that. And secondly, I'm still working on my granny stripe blanket, guys. I decided to continue working on it. I wanted it to be a little bit bigger than what it was, and I can't seem to put this project down. I am having so much fun with it. It has become my TV knitting at night because it is so big that it can just sit on my lap as I'm making it, and it is so nice. I love it. So the last time I podcasted, I was at the Progress Keeper, and I end up putting that much on, which doesn't seem like a lot, but I'm happy with that. Oh, it's so pretty. So this was the end of my Magic Knot ball, and then this is the start of the new one. So I just magic knotted the new strand of yarn on, and I have the cake that was left over from the Magic Knot socks. So if you watched last episode, I had magic knotted together this cake of yarn for said blanket, and my friend wanted a pair of socks, and I've never done a pair of socks with magic knots before, and they turned out really well. And he really loves them. He's been wearing them straight for a week to see how they hold up. He's a hard wearer on his socks. So far only one knot came loose and I retied it together. So one did come apart. He's a hard wearer on his socks. So would I do it again? I'm not quite sure yet. I'm really not sure. I'm thinking about it. He would like another pair, but we're kind of just seeing how they fare out still, because like I said, one knot did come apart. So I don't know. But all that to say, what was left over from the cake of yarn of my Magic Knot ball, that's what's now starting. So from this gray here, that's what the new one is, and I'm just loving these colors so much. So I'm not following a pattern for this blanket. I have talked about it quite a bit, but I just cast it on 300 and some stitches, and I'm just doing a granny stripe blankie. And this has been a work in progress for a long time, but I'm okay with that because it's a blanket, and yeah, it's supposed to take a while, but I will admit that it is getting to that point now where it has been going for a while. I would like it finished. That way I can actually use it. But as I said, I decided to add a little bit more to it because I wanted it to be a bit longer. That way it could fit onto my bed, and I just wanted it longer. So I have there are so many noises, guys. I'm sorry for being so distracted today. I have 2 more colors left in this Magic Knot ball, and then I'll kind of reconsider. I still have a couple things down in this bag, like scraps of yarn, so I might just put those into it just to get them used up and add a little bit more length to the blanket. But yeah, just having a lot of fun with it. It's great TV knitting, or it's not knitting, it's crochet. It is great TV crochet. It is really nice to work with, and I've been quite enjoying that. So I know there are patterns out there that you could follow for a granny stripe blanket. Probably some of them are even free. But like I said, I just cast it on. I think it was like 340 stitches or 320 stitches, something like that. And then I'm just doing a granny stripe back and forth. I'm using a Tulip Atimo crochet hook, 3.5 millimeter. And yeah, that's what I am doing. So it's been a lot of fun. Tulip Atimo, sorry, my dog just hit the tripod, has now got not only, I got the red one. I don't have a full set. I've only bought in the sizes that I need. But Tulip Atimo now has purple crochet hooks. What? They have purple ones. And the Knitting Loft in Toronto actually has, I don't know if they got a full set of them. I know you can get the sets off of Amazon, but it's a bit pricey, which it's understandable. But I know that the Knitting Loft in Toronto does have individual ones that you can purchase, and slightly tempted to get the sizes that I use most often just to have the purple ones, because it's purple. They're beautiful. I love it. Do I need them? God, no, I don't, but I would love to have one. But yeah, that's just for your info. And if you're like me and you love purple, they got purple ones now. And Tulip Atimo is very similar to a Chagu knitting needle. And if you know what a Chagu knitting needle is and how much joy a Chagu brings, like the cables on a Chagu needle, they are just incredible and far better than any other knitting needle out there, in my opinion. So far for the crochet hooks, and I haven't tried a lot of them. I have a set from Knit Pro. I have a set from Knit Picks. They all got the grip on them, like the rubber grip. I also have just one or two of the Clover, I think they're called. And one of my absolute favorites is Susan Bates. Absolute favorite. However, now the Tulip Atimo is my favorite, and I'm so tempted, like I said, just to get the sizes that I use in purple, just so I could have the purple ones. But we shall see. We shall see. Anyways, that is all for the knitting and crocheting content of it. And if you hear noises, it is my doggie. She is like walking back and forth like, Mom, are you done talking to a camera yet? Because I need attention. So if you hear the pitter patter, that is my doggie. Okay, so I have a little bit of stash enhancement. So as I said, I made an order with Knit Picks, and I got the Knit Picks Felici in the Lisa colorway, and I also got it in Fruit Salad. This is another colorway that I was like, oh my god, I absolutely love it. I have to get it. So I got those ones. I tried not to go crazy with the Felici, guys, because I really love Felici. I would have bought in all the colorways, but I did not. And then I got some Knit Picks Stroll fingering because I absolutely love Stroll. It is such a soft base. It is a 75% fine superwash merino wool, 25% nylon. And I got it in Pumpkin and Burnt Umber Heather. And I only got one ball of each. I think my thought process was heels, toes, and cuffs, like to have some contrasting colors in my my arsenal to do heels, toes, and cuffs. I think that's what my plan was, because I kind of opened up the box and I was like, interesting, why did I choose autumnal colors when we're coming into spring and summer. I don't know, but I did, and they're beautiful. So that's most likely what these will be used for, is contrasting heels, toes, and cuffs. And then yesterday, sorry for the crinkle, I received my Area 51 fiber order, and I haven't ordered for them in a little bit because no fault of Area 51 fibers, but I had made an order back in December with Area 51, and if you're in Canada, you know about the Canada Post strike. We have now since gotten over that, for the most part, I believe, anyway. But Area 51 fibers is shipping with Chit Chats, and Chit Chats, once it gets picked up here in the Moncton area of New Brunswick, it gets handed off to Dragonfly. And Dragonfly attempted delivery 10 times. For no reason. They couldn't deliver it. There was no reason, guys, and I did a whole rant about it, and I'm not going to go back on that rant again because I could. But yeah, 10 times to deliver a package, and one of them was a Christmas colorway that I wanted to knit up for Christmas, and I was just so frustrated. So I held off from ordering, and she is still shipping with Chit Chats, unfortunately. And I was like, oh, goodness gracious. It did get handed off to Dragonfly again, but I am happy to report that it actually got delivered on the first try. And I was so happy with that. Oh, Lordy. So I only ordered one colorway. A friend of mine is having a baby this summer, and I want to knit a pair of socks for the baby and big sister, and I think this colorway would just be amazing. It is Never Not Rainbowing, and that is this colorway right here. So I still have leftovers from that pair of socks, so I could probably get the baby socks out of that, but I wanted to do a pair for big sister, so I needed a new skein. Such a pretty colorway. So that is on her Sturdy Alien base, which is 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon. And like I said, Never Not Rainbowing. Stunning. I absolutely love it. So that is what I got, and I'm so excited to get those started. I don't know when I'm going to get them started. But yeah, I plan on making, just really quickly, I plan on making a pair of baby socks. And I don't know if I want to do newborn size and then do a 3 to month size, like have the two different sizes, because babies grow so fast, right? But and then do a pair for big sister. I should have enough yarn to do that. And then what I plan to do also is they love going to Prince Edward Islands. They have family roots in Prince Edward Islands, so I am doing like Anne Shirley, Anne of Green Gables dolls. So I actually just started that this week. It is crocheted. Again, I didn't bring it because it's a work in progress. I don't know what it is with my crocheting projects, especially if it's a toy, if it's a doll, there's pieces in that. I don't like bringing that and from my workstation, which is our kitchen table. Yeah. I don't like moving it from the kitchen table to bring it in to my recording area because I'm afraid of losing stuff, and I don't want to deal with all that. But maybe next week, if I have the first doll done, then I will share it with you guys. But so far the pattern is turning out really well, and hopefully I can have at least one doll finished, or at least partially done, that I can show it to you guys. My hands though, my hands were so sore. They still are sore today, but at least I'm able to crochet. this past week, there was a couple days where, oh my God, it was bad. It was really bad, guys. Anywho, I'm going to stop rambling. I hope you enjoyed this episode. There will be links down below to all the patterns and designs that I've talked about. Yeah. Oh, I guess a new little thing. It's not a huge thing. I also updated my logo for Inspired Knitting Podcast. And if you are from the Sackville Farmers Market or you come to the Sackville Farmers Market, I updated my logo there as well. So I'm not one to get into this whole AI thing. It's kind of foreign to me. It's kind of weird to me, but I found a website and they generate images to a certain extent for free. You can pay to get more advanced imagings, I guess, or advanced help, advanced advice. I don't know. I don't talk to AI because, like I said, I still find it a bit weird. But the site allows you to generate an image within to a certain extent. And it created this wonderful new logo for Sweet Comfort Designs. And I was like, okay, so you can only do one image per 2.5 hours. So I did that, and then I decided that I was going to change up my logo, which is right here. That was my old logo, and I decided to change it up a bit, and I'm very happy with both the way that they turned out. So I am so excited about that. I'm happy for a fresh new look, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. So if you see the change, then yeah, I hope you like it too. Anyway, guys, I'm going to stop babbling now and let you all go. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I hope you have a wonderful week ahead, and happy knitting, and God bless. Bye.